Rumble channel. Make sure to look for Genius Biofeedback on Rumble, where we'll be doing many exclusive events that we will only be doing on Rumble because of the ability to say what we need to on Rumble, whereas we cannot always say that on other platforms. So if you're the kind of person that likes to hear the truth, then you're definitely going to want to join us on Rumble, where we're going to be doing exclusive events that will not be broadcast to YouTube. All right, so let's get a few other things going here. Let's sort of make the screen available and let's talk about a few things. Okay, so we have our website. Our website is geniusbiofeedback.com. There are other websites, but this is the website that you get the training from me and my team. All of our practitioner programs, all of our libraries are here at Genius Biofeedback. So Dr. Dina, thank you. Welcome. Sophie, thank you always. It's wonderful to know that you're here each time. Lori, welcome. Dr. Trina, welcome to you and welcome to everybody. So if we go to geniusbiofeedback.com, we have a new plan called Split It. So if you get a bunch of libraries, you can actually break it up into installments. You'll definitely be interested in taking advantage of that, especially during our Black Friday sale. Anytime you get libraries, you can now get a whole bunch of libraries and split it up into installments. There's no extra fee for that. It just happens in checkout. You can choose Split It as a checkout instead of choosing a PayPal or choosing a credit card. You just go to Split It and they take care of everything. So that's right up here. You can see it, Split It, no application fees, and you can just choose it at checkout. Okay. Now, other things that we have on the website here, this is a pretty organized website now. And if you ever need new links, you want to just go ahead and make a note that you'll always be able to get links like the iOS Apple links right here at Genius Reinstall Links. So anytime you get a new device, remember you have to log out first of the device. It's a little confusing because it doesn't work like other apps. You actually have to log out. So if you don't log out, even if you just delete it and you're like, I did good, I deleted it, I wiped my phone, there's nothing else on there, nobody could find it, doesn't matter. The server still thinks you have an access going on that device, even though it's been sent back to Apple, maybe resold or whatever. So you have to log out. You have to use a big white button at the top left of the screen and log out, log out, log out. Before you do anything with your shiny new phone, make sure you log out. Once you log out, you can go to geniusbiofeedback.com and you can basically go to the Genius Reinstall links here and reinstall. We have lots of other things on here, lots of great education about the remedy plate. We've got education about the quantum capsule. We've got all of our courses, our dentistry courses, our library courses. We've got practitioner level training. So this is a very helpful menu here. Also, we have our events page. So if you go to our calendar, we have our weekly training. We also have our 528 podcast, and we're doing a series of podcasts over the next couple of weeks with Karen McDonald. Karen, thank you so much for being part of our podcast. And we're going to talk more about EMF, about alkalinity, about the power of greens to heal, all the things that are kind of going on that you need to know about. You know, that funny little thing that people have done. We want to talk all about that. We get to do that in a private Zoom that you can join us. So make sure you sign up here. And then we basically take the recording and we put it on our Rumble channel. Like I said, we're doing a lot more with our Rumble channel. So please go to rumble.com, look for Genius Biofeedback. I think it might even be rumble.com/Genius Biofeedback. You can find it that way. And then make sure you subscribe, because we'll even be like live streaming and doing some other really cool events from Rumble itself. It's gotten to be very popular. A lot of people are doing a lot of events and activities, and it sure is refreshing to be able to just say whatever we need to say to talk about the truth of what's going on. So absolutely love that. And then we have our event of the year. It's going to be posted in the events. I thought it'd be already posted here. But it's going to be next week from noon to 3. So noon Pacific to 3 o'clock. Noon Pacific to 3 o'clock Pacific, or 3 o'clock Eastern to 6 o'clock Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll have a big announcement coming out today. All of the registration links will be there. Everything that we need. So make sure to make time in your calendar, noon to 3 Pacific, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, where we can hear from our community. And so that will be coming up this week. Okay, so we're going to take your questions. We're going to do a scan. So if you'd like to volunteer, then please let me know. If you'd like to volunteer for a scan, if you'd like to get a scan today, please let me know. Let me update you about the different versions. Again, event of the year, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And we do need some more guests. So if you feel like you want to raise your hand and even speak for 30 minutes about your Genius experience, we certainly would love to have you. We give you a gift for doing that. Okay, moving on. What we want to talk about now is the new version. So the new version, like I said, if you have waited to install the new version, now would be a good time to actually install the new version. If you have any bugs, I want to make sure that you go and update your version. So this is the reinstall link. You can see that the latest, you can see the developers worked. You know, just a little while ago, it was like 16.16. Now it's like 16.28. So he's done update and update and update and update. So make sure that if you have Apple, that you're going to go ahead and update your Genius. So update it, because the latest version, what is going on with that? The latest version will allow you to use the version where he has made the most corrections. So if you're still having an issue, you certainly can let us know in the chat. It's better to send a message to support. And let me just tell you what support is, okay? Support for my company, anybody who's gotten the Genius through me, or if you just have a question, you want to reach out to us, remember, it's support@geniusbiofeedback.com. Support@geniusbiofeedback.com. Now, we are going to be having a whole bunch of great Black Friday specials. That being said, we don't actually change the pricing a whole lot. We maintain our pricing throughout the year, so it's fair that you feel like whenever you got your system, it was fair. We do tend to include some additional bonuses and goodies within our Black Friday specials. We'll be announcing those soon. If you would like to get an affiliate commission, which is 20% of the package, the best thing to do is just use this link. Over time, we have an affiliate link. We get you an affiliate link. We'll show you how to do it. But we're a small company still. We're a relatively small company, even though we've got 15 to 20,000 users all over the world, and we've done this for 10 years. We've still really just sold one Genius at a time. And so we're not so busy that we can't keep track of when you make a referral. So if you just fill out this form, which I'm going to link, which is right on the website under start here, it says 14-day trial, and you simply have them make sure that they put your name, who shared the Genius with you, you will get your credit. You will get your credit for that. Who shared the Genius with you? Please put my name there. I get a credit. They thank me for that. I would appreciate if you put the name. We also ask people who referred you when they get their system, but put your name there. And then we know that it's you. We record that it's you. We get in touch with you after they get the Genius, and you get 20%. So if they get the elite package, that's an $800 commission. We appreciate you so much. We want to put that money in your pocket. We thank you for that. Those of you who've referred people know you've gotten your commission. We send it immediately by direct transfer. Not immediately. It is 30 days after the sale, because we do have to wait for the return period. But after the 30 days passes, if they've paid in full, then we give you the commission. Sometimes it's a little bit longer if they're on a very long installment plan, but we try to expedite it, and we try to pay you as soon as possible. Okay, how do we find the past Monday classes and the frequency clubs at geniusbiofeedback.com? Well, Deborah, I'm so glad that you attended today, because you're asking great questions. So let's look at that. On the website, geniusbiofeedback.com, let's go to Learn, and let's go to the blog. When we go to the blog, now, very conveniently, you can find every past training that we've done, and except the podcast. The podcast has been posted to Rumble, and actually we should post it on the blog as well. Now today, we're going to focus on digestion. So the blog today, we're going to post the training here, and we have some some things for you, like the Beat the Bloat ebook. This is a process that you can use in order to work on your digestion with the Genius. So you can actually just click on this and it'll download a handy ebook that will tell you all about a process that you can use for your digestion. So it tells you what to do and tells you how to do it. So you can check this out on the blog. So the blog, once again, you go to learn, then you go to the blog, and it brings up, some articles that we have, a lot of the training recordings and things like that. Now the clubs are all under the membership. So we have the discount club, the library discount club, and then the business club. So if you go here, it tells you all about our memberships. You can join the business membership and gives you several opportunities to do that. The business membership is awesome because you get a lot of support for your business. You get private coaching. We talk all about your website. We talk all about how to get your business started. We talk all about marketing techniques, and even we talk about how to make your practice better. So we spend a lot of time working on your practice techniques as well. And then we also have our library discount club. Now, this is a great time to join the library discount club because if you're a library discount member during Black Friday, you are still going to get an additional 20% discount over and above whatever discount we have for the Black Friday special. So that's a great time to join. You can join for a month. You can join for a month. You can cancel it at any time. Our library discount club members love the library discount club because they get a $97 coupon to spend on any library on the website. They get a bonus library that's brand new, never been on the website before. This month, we're doing a lot of emotional trauma clearing. They get a bonus class, and the library discount club members, the bonus class probably will be pushed this month only to early December, just because we have so much going on for the Thanksgiving holiday. But usually it's during the month that we issue the library. You get a bonus class where I talk to exclusively the members of the library discount club about the library. It's a great training. We give you a guide, and you also get 20% off all other libraries at any time. So we tried to make it as wonderful and appealing as possible for people. So that's the library discount club membership, 20% off all libraries and $97 coupon for any library you want each and every month. Okay. Every time I hit enter, it does something weird. Let's try that again. Okay. Now, okay. So we got a couple of volunteers. People are volunteering to have a scan today. Anybody else want to volunteer? We might be able to get to you, but specifically for digestion, we're going to focus on digestion. We can focus on anything that you want. So we'll go ahead and see if we can put, it looks like Chana, you can let me know how it's pronounced, has put her information in here. So we'll call on you in just a moment. We're going to try to get your voice and your picture. And I think I'm going to have to do that offline before I show the Genius because of an issue that we're having interacting with Zoom, which is something that Ryan Williams mentioned on his latest update video. So you got the European version here. It looks like it's February, right? And then we've got the day as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave that here on my iPad. So I've got it on my iPad, but I'm not going to broadcast my iPad just yet. And let's see what you guys are saying. Remember, I can't. Okay, so let's see if we can get the events calendar here. All right, it should be on the events calendar now. There we go. Okay, great. So now the event of the year is now listed on the calendar, and you can get the Zoom link there as well. So make sure that you get signed up for the event of the year. Make sure you're on there. You can join us, and then we'll send you the recording as well. Okay. All right, now let's see what you guys have been saying here. Now, I also want to open it up for Q&A. So Danielle says, are we able to go back to the old build? At this point, I don't recommend that, Danielle. Ryan has been real specific that he is concerned that everybody now get on the new version because there could be problems if you go back to the old version with the two databases syncing with each other in terms of sharing libraries, in terms of syncing your database. He has worked on it a lot. Oh, I'm going to need another wire in here. He has worked on this a lot over the past week, and I do feel that it is worthy now of you updating, and you might have a minor glitch here and there, but not a major one. So I highly encourage you to update to the new version. I had an update on my iPad to the latest version of the operating system. Dina, I'm not really sure I follow you there. Sherry says, in the new system, I cannot figure out how to ask for the panels I want in the library. Sherry, are you referring to the search function? If you're referring to the search function, I know why you're confused, and I can show you how to do that. Lori says, it would be fantastic if there was a search button in the blog itself. That's really interesting that there is no search button there. I'll have to take a look at that, Lori, and I appreciate the feedback very, very much. Danielle says, okay, thanks. I still want the old aura. So anybody who prefers the old aura, potato. So the Ryan Williams, the developer, is always going to sort of push the envelope. He likes to change things. He likes to see new stuff. He wants you to be inspired by new stuff. So he's just going to get in there and he's going to change it up. Okay. Now, if you don't prefer it, you don't like it, you don't think it's helpful for your practice, this is a community-based app. It's not a dictatorship. Really, he needs to know that for you as a practitioner, the old version was much more helpful. So he either needs to have a toggle button where you could use the old one or the new one, or you need to just really tell him it absolutely cannot use the Genius this way. You must bring back the old aura. If you feel that way, then please do reach out to him. I'm going to put his email here and let him know how you feel. Not everything is perfect. Not everybody is perfect. I could see some things, moving forward that are really kind of cool with the deep, deep colors of the new aura. Probably some people are going to like it. Some people are going to dislike it. Let him know your opinion so he can make a determination. I think it'd be really cool to have a toggle button so you could just choose which one you would like. Okay, Nancy says, I like the old aura version as well. Hey, Nancy, let's get you signed up. We got to get you a current version. We got to get you a working version. We don't want you on multiple trials or anything like that. We want you to do that one and hope you enjoyed it. We want to get you your Genius. So make sure you get in touch with me today so that we can help you with that. Okay, I do not like the new system. I wish to keep the old version because of many things. So Maria, you have my compassion, my sympathies, but you will not be able to keep the old version. You will have to migrate to the new version. Now, I don't know what it is that you don't like, but there isn't that much that really is different. It is hard to move into change. It can be very frustrating. It can be very stressful, but I don't have any control over that. You're more than welcome to express your vocal opposition to this by sending a message to rw@insidehealthapps.com, but you will have to update at some point because the old version, it'll end up having a lot of glitches as a result. Many problems I was having with the upgrade disappeared when I upgraded the operating system on my iPad. Now that, Dr. Dina, that's a really good point that everybody should know. You should always go to General and check your operating system. And maybe once a week, set a date on your calendar to do that, to make sure it's up to date. You need to go to General, and then you go to Software Update, and you want to make sure that it is updated. But, Maria, I totally agree with you. I mean, I do encourage the developer kind of less is more. Don't make drastic changes that will stress people out. You just have to tell them your opinion. You just have to let them know how you feel. If you look at the history of the Genius that has been deeply, deeply shaped by the biofeedback community, by the feedback from the user. So you just need to make your voice known. Everybody has something to say here, I can see. All right. Let's see. Okay, Sherry, there's no missing ability to search for the libraries. I'm going to show you how to do it. He didn't do a good job with the default, and I'll show you how you can search for your libraries. It is confusing. Sarah says, Sarah B says, I'd like to get a toggle button for the old aura. So make sure you recommend it. It doesn't have to seem like it came from me. He can think he thought of it himself, but you can recommend it too. Hey, how about a toggle button so we can use both of them? We can have the best of both worlds. Gosh, I hope you can do that. Okay, so The new aura is okay. However, the ability to do the before and after session for a client is amazing for clients. So Lucille, thank you very much for your feedback. There is still the ability to do a before and after, and there is some significance to the before and after, which we've already seen. There is an awareness experience by clients when you do the after during a short session. There's still a before and after, the ability to do a before and after with the aura. I noticed the aura different. I like the old one. Make sure you let RW at Inside Health Apps know that you prefer the old one. I think it would have been better. I think it would have been better if he put it out first to the community and said, hey, community, what do you think of this? I'm thinking of changing it. What do you think of that? That would have been a better protocol. Perhaps Ryan would be willing to have a special class on reading the new aura. Go ahead and ask him. I welcome you to ask him. He doesn't have any, we could do ourselves. We could do a class on it. You can ask Ryan. Go ahead. I'd love to be at that class. But I do like the system overview that includes the libraries. I love that. Thank you, Margaret. I love the idea of an aura reading class. Could you share how to search the library? I can't stay for the whole session. So Sherry, if I don't get to it right away, perhaps you could watch the recording since you do have pressing engagements and things that you need to do, which might not be aligned with our timing for today, but I do appreciate you being here, and you certainly can watch that on the recording if I don't get to it right away. Okay, let's turn our attention to our volunteer for today. So we're going to invite Shauna to come up here and meet with us. So you're going to see, oh no, oh goodness, there's something wrong with the, okay, there we go. All right, wonderful. Okay, you're going to see that you've been promoted to a panelist, Shauna. Make sure you open up your microphone and your camera so that you could spend some time with us here. And you're not going to see the genius quite yet because there's an issue with me recording voice and picture on the Zoom. Hello, my dear. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm just feel a bit late with the fantastic genius, but it's so much to control, and I'm very slow, and I regret that. And I would like to have someone just beside me to help me just one step by after. But you do a beautiful job. But
well, I appreciate it. We will do some individual tutorials. So I'm producing some short tutorials so that way will help you in navigating the new features. So we'll have those for you soon. So I appreciate it. Do I say your name Shauna or Chana?
Shana.
Shauna. Am I saying it right? Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And how long have you had your genius for?
Yes, maybe I can say almost 1 year. I would say almost. But
almost a year. Okay.
To learn, and I use it for now. I'm a clinical nurse and naturopath, but not able to use it for the work. Just for me, because I had a cancer by the past, and I just stay away from that. So I thought that Genius would be a very good solution for me to stay away from another cancer. So I bought it first for me. And I'm not able to speak on the fantastic Genius because I'm lacking of my knowledge and of my ability to explain and so on.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. Where are you joining us from today?
Thank you. Yeah.
Where are you joining us from today? Are you joining us from the US or somewhere else?
From Canada, British Columbia.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Let me record your voice, which you're not going to see on the screen, but maybe I can just show it. I'll record her voice right here. So I'll count you down here and I will start recording your voice so we can do a scan on you. I'll start recording it in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Shana, Shana, A-E-I-O-U, Shana, A-E-I-O-U, Shana, A-E-I-O-U, Shana, A-E-I-O-U, Shana.
Okay, perfect. You did very good. Excellent. Okay, so now that's so weird, but with the Zoom on, this is actually something Ryan Williams was mentioning on Friday, as the next button shows up here, but if the Zoom is on, it's the weirdest thing, then you don't have the next button. He is actually literally working with the Zoom engineers that they would come up with something that these two pieces of technology can speak with each other. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to go to the picture. So I've got the picture screen up here, and I need to do the same thing. So in just a moment, I'm going to take your picture, and just give me one moment to set that up properly so that we can do that from the Zoom and take care of that. And lovely. And so now I've got her picture, show it to the camera on here, and we can now analyze it. And something we couldn't do live on the Zoom, again, because of this interaction between photo and microphone. Now, while I'm talking about all of this, you're absolutely welcome to post your questions, any questions that you have. And now I'm going to be able to bring up the actual reflector so that we can look at that with the reflector. And so, Shauna, do you have any questions for me? Something that you would like to ask about the genius that you haven't been able to previously understand very well?
Yeah, let me put oh no, this is, oh yeah, good. Yes, you know, when I set up the genius for me, my Android, on my Android,
yeah.
Yes, I do. I check. I do the red and the blue and the scan and the correction and so on. But how can I be? I don't really see some. Maybe it's energetic. It's very subtle, and I'm not sure about the efficiency. I know the scan show how
okay,
we are.
I think I got the gist of what you're saying. I totally understand, just because we're pressed for time. So what we did in the Business Launchpad, the Business Launchpad is a new program available at geniusbiofeedback.com. If somebody wants that program, they need installments, just get in touch with me at support@geniusbiofeedback. We're probably going to, or you could probably use the split it function, or you can just get in touch with us. Anyway, if you go to the Business Launchpad, we gave a whole series of questionnaires, fillable questionnaires away in the Business Launchpad. And for yourself and other people, we recommend these fillable questionnaires because they help people to shape to understand their experience through the genius. So we give them a questionnaire on week 1, how severe are their symptoms? And then it's like, how, you know, your digestion, your sleep, your energy, and then they give a report. And then 2 weeks later, and 4 weeks later, and 6 weeks later, you give them the questionnaire again. And lo and behold, people are making all types of improvements, but it's very, very difficult to say to a person like, hey, do you feel better? Do you feel like you're getting better? Because people don't know. People can't really gauge their symptoms subjectively often in that way, unless they were in extreme misery and agony, and now they're out of agony. But even people who are massively depressed, and then they get better, and then you talk to them, sometimes they forget that they were even depressed. The movement to wellness and vitality is so strong. It's so much of our natural experience that people will forget that they were suffering with certain things at the onset or the inception of your engagement, of your working with them, of your working with them with the genius. So we really, really recommend using questionnaires as a way to work with people and really help them, to show them that you're making progress. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it is. And what is the frequency do you recommend? Which frequency of session do you recommend? Once a week, twice a week?
We've really recommended once per week, one session per week. And then that has become the sort of the standard of care in our Genius Biofeedback community, is to use the Quanta capsule with our clients whenever we can, because we give them the ability to reinforce their session by running the frequencies in between the sessions that we do for them. So once a week, so they can get their capsule basically refilled every week. And then So then every week they get new frequencies, and then we test them every week. That's the frequency that we recommend. Now, if you have somebody who's very sick, who was a cancer patient or is in a lot of agony, you may want to switch that up, and maybe you do want to do sessions twice a week. But twice a week, once a week is sort of the standard. Once every 2 weeks, if they don't want to do every week, it just, it really varies, but it's somewhere in there because it's repetition. And it really is coming to light very, very clearly from the strides that people make with their Quanta capsule. When the practitioner is using the Quanta capsule, people make great strides. People make great progress. And I think that's the principle for human beings. Like, it's the things that you do every single day, a little bit, that makes your whole life. So if you do a little bit of strength training, or if you do a little bit of running, or you do a little bit of movement every day, it's incremental. It moves up over time. It builds up over time with the consistency of daily practice. If you are spiritual and you do your spiritual practice, you get the benefit of that over time. If you do affirmations, it's just everything that you do a little bit every day. And it's the same thing with the genius. So we want to empower our clients to be able to do a little bit every day for themselves. And then we coach them, guide them, give them new frequencies with our expertise once per week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The question is, if
yes.
I do a session for a client,
right,
I want to be sure to give them the good session, the good genius treatment. Yeah, that's why I'm here with you.
Should really take our practitioner level 1 program, because we go through sort of a methodology of how to think about your session and how to provide a good professional session for them.
Okay.
Shauna, thank you. And anything in particular going on with you health-wise that you want me to look at or focus on?
My digestion, because
this
is the focus of digestion. So I just want to speak on that. It is a slow digestion.
Okay.
I have Helicobacter pylori that doesn't.
And how do you know that you have Helicobacter?
Sorry?
How do you know that you have Helicobacter?
Oh, I did a breath test.
Oh, you did the breath test.
I have it for so long time. So
okay. And what are you doing? What are you doing for the Helicobacter? What have you been?
I just, for a long time ago, I did a session of antibiotics, not normal sessions, but it didn't work. It's still there, but it doesn't bother me because I take some myceliums with erythricum, and that control the level of it. I don't want to be off of it, but I just want to be low level of it. It would be a good thing. And I'm chronic constipation for my just childhood, and it's almost controlled now, and have psoriasis for my childhood.
Awesome. Shauna, thank you. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let you sit back and relax and enjoy the session. I have enough information to work on you. So thank you so much for being here and being part of our class today.
Thank you very much. I would like to be each week, but it's not possible, sadly, because I have a lot of things.
I totally understand. So please do watch us on the recording. Please do watch the recording. You can just watch it on YouTube. Very convenient. Go to YouTube and look at my channel. Make sure you subscribe to it, and then you can just watch it. And it even gives you a feed. If you do the notifications, it'll notify you when there are live streams or when we've uploaded a new video. So you never miss a training. Now look at her. This is like a very interesting aura, right? Because it's very pastel. It reminds me of Easter. So you've got this beautiful pink energy. So it's very delicate, a very gentle energy. And that might just be like her constitution, right? And so the pink is the innermost. The pink is going to be the priority. I've never really seen this type of pink, because pink is usually the 7th chakra. So it could be very, very open in the higher chakra. And then we've got green is going to be related to that 4th chakra energy, the heart energy, but you see it's quite muddy. And then we also see sort of a turquoise blue and a purple. So we're probably dealing with 5th and 6th chakra issues, dealing with the thyroid and also dealing with the intuition, the third eye, the pineal, the sleep cycle, things like that. So it moves out in prioritization with this new aura function. We've got what's really, really important right at the center, and then it moves out in layers, next level of importance, next level of importance. Now let's go ahead and let's go back here and let's go to this general overview, and let's look at that general overview. Let's see if there's any chance whatsoever that the libraries are now included. Can't guarantee. No, it looks like they're still not, unfortunately. Oh, there, there they are. They are included. So that's good. That was a very, very fast scan. The number of libraries that get scanned in that 3.5 seconds that's actually a huge advancement, I think, in biofeedback technology in general and in quantum biofeedback. So we have 1,200 libraries here that are available. Of those 1,200, the average sub-library, sometimes it's as much as 100, sometimes it's as low as maybe 10, with an average being about 50. So if you take 1,200 multiplied by 50, I think we're looking at 60,000 approximately items that we're scanning at one time. So when you think about that, that's amazing. We're able to sift and sort through so many libraries at one time. And so the one thing that came up really, really high for her, so you're looking at, the whole thing of medicine, of being a healthcare practitioner, being naturopath, is that we're always like sort of sitting on the other end of that discussion, that table, discussing it with our patient. And it's like, oh, what is the root cause for them? Like, what is the main issue for them? Like, what can I know? And if you can get a good quantum biofeedback, a good bioenergetic system to sift and sort through all this information and give you a top level prioritization, that is extremely helpful. So if we look at this, it says clove essential oil. Clove being one of the greatest recommended remedies for parasites, for microorganisms. So there may be a parasitic element to this. Number 2, a whole food diet. I don't know if Jing is joining us, but she has shared so wonderfully that she had at least one parent that was a medical doctor. I'm not sure if both parents were, and that her whole life she had gotten recommendation after recommendation. She still had chronic constipation. When she took the high vibe nutrition class and combined it with her genius practice, the digestive issues of a lifetime were gone. And she has shared that. That's not anything she hasn't shared publicly at our different summits and interviews. And it's been so meaningful for her because it's never gone back to what it was before. So clove and then a whole food diet. I think of it being like a whole food plant diet, or something I called unprocessed whole foods, which means that it's really the potato, the salad, the vegetable, the legumes, anything that doesn't have a label on it telling you all the ingredients that it took to make that. That's called unprocessed. Bifidus. Now, bifidus is that's interesting. It's under emotional clearing, but bifidus is a very specific gut bacteria that's different from Lactobacillus acidophilus. And bifidus is preferred to Lactobacillus acidophilus when you have chronic gut inflammation. So isn't that interesting? Emotional shock. This is a radionic rate, meaning that's a type of frequency that we're using in there. And it's telling it's for emotional shock. And so this could be something today, yesterday, 10 years ago at birth, something's coming up. And then we've got folliculinum. So that is about hormonal balance, and specifically on the estrogen side. Feeling unappreciated. So that's interesting. Emotional clearing in the lungs, feeling unappreciated. So we're clearing that. Immune system optimized, nervous system balance. Oops. Fasting glucose too high. Even in a slender person, this can be an issue. Now, I don't want to go through too many of them. I know it's very time consuming, but let's just go here. Let's go to the switch it. That's not right. Did it switch it? It's, for some reason, the scores have disappeared. So there's still problems here. But all that being said, let's see if we can make it behave itself. And now it's going to come back and need to be analyzed again. So yeah, so if somebody can submit this as a bug, like the general, it doesn't stay there, unfortunately. And so now it needs to be analyzed again, which means it's going to give us different results. So let's skip that. Somebody report that and say still bugs general overview. If you go out of the menu, it has to be scanned again. Okay, now we're going to go to the custom libraries. And I know that Sherry probably needed to jump off and go to her client appointment, but I do want to show you this. This is really important. And it's another thing I would tell the developer, if you can, hey, developer, don't make this the default. I don't know what this is supposed to be. What is that shape? Make this the default. And while you're at it, how about some nicer icons that make some logical sense? What is this? This is a graduate cap. None of that makes any sense. But anyway, what we want to do is the library. We have to go to library, Sherry, if you're watching this live or on the recording. That should be the default. When you go in there, it should only click on that. Most people just want to look for their libraries. So I'm going to talk about the other one in a minute. If you wanted to look for libraries that were related to digestion, you would now start to type in DIGE. It's going to give you every single library that has something related to digestion. I like to use the general assessment. One thing I noticed that I don't know if this is based on the new version, it shouldn't be, or if it is specific to Shauna herself, is that there's very little red. So we're not seeing a lot of red. And look at this library. We're going to compare it to some other libraries. It's got a 600, stress is affecting digestion, some diverticulosis. We could talk about that. What that is, but look at all of this is, oh, this is an error. This is why I hate doing this on the new version. This is this is wrong. This is really, really terrible. None of this is correct, unfortunately. So we're going to have to make sure that we screenshot it and record it. I just take it in stride at this point. It will be corrected very, very soon. It will be proper, but let's just look at some of these things because I bet that they are accurate, even if they're not numbered correctly. So we've got yeast, sympathetic dominance, SIBO, which is interesting, kind of maybe related to the Helicobacter. Because remember, even though the score is important, what is important is that you're picking the frequency. So it says reflux, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, protease enzyme deficiency, poor mineral absorption, and parasites, which is what we saw with the clove, which is really interesting. Let's go ahead and now let's go ahead and look at digestive solutions. And once again, these scores are not correct. All right, let's go out of this and let's go back to the system overview. And so one more time, I just want to go actually back to the libraries for a moment and just show this. By the way, go ahead and put your questions into the question area. And I just want to go back to the custom libraries for one moment. So I want to show this again. So now the default is on this all. Let's go back to library. Library is how we search. So if we searched for something else, we would just go to hormones. Figure out my keyboard isn't working here. Hormones. And so it would bring up hormones. Now, here's the change that was made. And it shouldn't be the default one. The default should be just the overarching libraries. But what we do when we drop down here is when we go to all is going to be able to search the sub libraries. So now anywhere, let's go ahead and let's see if we wanted to search for ashwagandha. So if we just typed in ASH ashwagandha, it would give us all the places that ashwagandha appears. Okay, so we could search like a sub library, or maybe we want to know where's arnica? Is arnica somewhere? And so now it would tell us all the places that arnica appears. Or maybe it's going to be Schizandra. Where does Schizandra appear? What are all the libraries that Schizandra appears in? Now, I think there's some problems with this because, let's see, we can pick the actual frequency. Yeah, so we can pick the frequency. I think some people said you can't do an entangled insights. So I would say that that's a bug. It looks like you can't tap on this and then go to entangled insights. I would report that to the developer, make sure he gets on top of that and fixes it. Okay, so now let's go through basic process number 1. basic process number one, we have a handout for this. You can request it, support@geniusbiofeedback.com. Basic process number one. What we do is we go through and we look at today's stress, which tells us emotional kidney sensitivities, infection, and then we look at the blues. Now, there were some reds there. This is really not okay. That takes so long to get to that screen. Anyway, so, and then it does it again. So the tap on this is too sensitive. I can't even navigate through this. That should be corrected. Okay, so we're going to go to the blue items right here. And we've got, only one blue. So this is a little bit different. We do have some red here and we do have some blue below. It is liver, bacteria, I would say cardiovascular as well. Then let's go to body systems. And it is immune, and then nervous system, reproductive, muscular, circulatory, urinary, endocrine, respiratory. So a lot of systems. Now we do see more depletion there. So this is an accurate screen. This is an accurate assessment. The immune system could be that Helicobacter pylori or some type of digestive infection. And then we've got the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the muscular system. Let's keep testing. So from body systems, we go to organs, liver, pancreas, and eyes. So liver and pancreas, maybe it's time for a detox, and then gallbladder. The whole, I would really recommend that high vibe nutrition class. The whole digestive system needs a detox, needs a cleanse, maybe needs some new elements to the digestive system. The high vibe nutrition series, you've never seen a series like this where I go through the actual evidence this should have a better description. We'll have to work on that. But I think there are some good reviews on this. So check out the reviews that have been made we really go through the evidence for adopting a plant-based diet, and then we talk about what that actually means. So definitely check that out. It's really changed people's lives to go through it. I'd like to do more programs like that, but this is the basics that you need, because when it comes down to it, really getting well is frequency. You can change your life with frequencies, but really has a lot to do with lifestyle, and it has to do with movement, alkalizing, good whole plant-based diet. Now, does that mean you never have meat ever? You can never eat meat or fish again? No. If you really want to be healthy and happy and resilient, it's mostly plant-based diet. And I give the evidence for that in high vibe nutrition. Now let's go ahead and look at the next one, which is glands. So let's look at glands. It tells us the pineal gland, which is something I mentioned with the sixth chakra, that it may have to do with sleeping. We see adrenal, we see pituitary, we see more of the reproductive system. Of course, not testes. That doesn't make sense for women, but it could be embedded in that frequency is testosterone, which women do have low levels, physiological low levels of testosterone. So that's realistic. Okay, so then digestion. So let's look at digestion. It tells us the liver, stomach, and esophagus. So something we've seen come up over and over again for Chana today is the liver. And the liver is your protection from cancer. So we want to love that liver. We want lots of fiber, which she already does. We want lots of good whole plants to get into the body and contribute more to a good gut microbiome. Maybe we want to do some castor oil packs as well to really help out the health of the liver. Maybe some green juices, some burdock, some milk thistle, some glutathione, some reduced glutathione. All those things would help and support the liver. Okay, so then digestion, then we go to flower essences. So we get some emotional support, right? And sort of reveal the emotional landscape of the person. So we've got beech, water violet, vine. And then we've also got down here, elm, clematis, and gorse. So elm is feeling overwhelmed, and gorse is moving from a place of hopelessness to a place of hopefulness. And let's go. These are the desk reference success cards that I'm looking at. And then clematis is getting grounded, being grounded in the present so that you can move forward. Now go to the top here. Beach is not being so self-critical, not being so self-judgmental, also not judging others so much. Water violet is very much our healing tribe, kind of quiet, introverted, needs lots of time to spend on their own. Water violet is finding comfort and independence and self-sufficiency, but also being happy just to be in a body, not really avoiding the earthly experience of being in a body. Okay, and vine is sort of releasing control. You don't have to control people. You don't have to convince them. You can just allow them to be who they are. So that's sort of the emotional pieces that are coming up. Now let's see which ones are the prioritization for today. And let's just see if there's anything else that we want to include. So now, after we've done basic process number 1, we can go back and we can ask ourselves, is there anything here that would be relevant to the case? Or is there something I want to include because it was red or blue? So some hormones, we can include some of those hormones that are coming up. And these hormones are a little bit hard for most people to understand. So I use the reproductive hormones, the hormonal assessment from my libraries at geniusbiofeedback.com. I like to use that. It's a lot more relatable. Estrogen, progesterone, pregnenolone, those are things that people are sort of familiar with. Cortisol, this is a little bit confusing for people. Then we've got minerals. And so we've got sulfate. And I saw sulfur before when we did that big scan. Sulfur, selenium, magnesium. Okay, sulfur is going to be for detox, also for hair, skin, and nails. We've got sulfur and glutathione sulfate. It could be for joints like chondroitin sulfate. We've also got selenium, which is to boost the immune system. Magnesium is one of the most deficient minerals in most people, and it's really important it can help for constipation or regulation of hormones. It helps the liver to run the P450 enzyme system. Then we go down here, molybdenum. Now you're going to see molybdenum sort of light up when you have candida. So molybdenum comes in and helps to kind of clear up and bind some things related to candida. So this could be an indication that we have a yeast or candida issue, which if there is a yeast or candida issue, it's because it's feeding on something. It's trying to act like a compost or trying to break down some type of waste in the body. So we need to really work on sort of maybe getting some hydrochloric acid or some gentian, some bitters. We need to do something to fire up that the gut, we need to increase that fire in the gut. Okay, so we did minerals. Let's see if there's anything else. Just we're getting towards the end here. Let's just sort of see if there's anything. We've got sacred geometry. Well, let's just see what comes up. Not a lot at the top. And there's that pattern again of not a lot of red and mostly blue. Got some fractals. Let's go ahead now and begin the analysis. And let's see what we have now. We ask what comes up out of those 60 some odd items. What comes up as the highest level of prioritization? A protease enzyme deficiency. So in the body, if you have parasites or if you have digestion, which has been weak for a long amount of time, you would have some waste. And in the parasites as well, they're not exactly waste, but they could be broken down by proteases. So protease enzyme deficiency could say we need to bring the protease in to clean up previous waste products and to sort of imagine like dust bunnies and things that kind of build up because we didn't have a healthy digestion. So we didn't break things down as efficiently as we could. And so those things can build up in the body. In fact, they can build up to be cysts or fibroids or things that are benign, sort of build up, or just in general, there might be inflammation. So by doing the protease, that could be highly effective. Selenium tells us that the body is thinking about improving the immune system in some way. There may be something ongoing that's active, a virus, a bacteria, that the body needs the selenium to boost the immune system. Diverticulosis means at one time we had low fiber in the diet. There might have been straining at the stool. It causes these outpouching pockets in the large intestine, but they're not inflamed. Diverticulosis means they exist. Diverticulitis means that they're inflamed and acting up. So it would be something we need to look at in the future. Immune system optimized. So when we see immune system optimized, we reverse, sort of draw a conclusion that the immune system is not as optimized as it could, meaning that there may be an active infection. We can also just choose all of the libraries here, and let's run it for a minute so we can see the change in the aura before we're done for today. So let's run those. Let's see what your comments and questions are. Question, should we also transfer to Android? I arrived late. Pat, yes, everybody now should try to get on the new version. So you should go to the Play Store and update it and try to get on the new version, because, well, I was under the impression most of the bugs were removed. There does seem to be a library testing issue. Okay, so pink is also for the spleen sub chakra. That's a good one. So yeah, so spleen could indicate she's continuing to work on the immune system. I think we need an explanation to understand the new aura program results. We'll definitely write something up for the whole community. I like the choice to search for the libraries all, because it'll show any library that has the word you typed, and I find libraries I wasn't aware of. So Lisa, that's wonderful, and I'm glad that you like it. It's really awesome. I didn't really say or infer it wasn't good. I just don't think it should be the default, because most people are looking for the overarching libraries. So I think when you go in there, library should light up, and then the all should be the thing that you press on if you want that. That's just my opinion, but it's potato. Okay, the library discount club does not work. It takes you to page not found. I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. So we'll post it in just a moment so that we can see what the correct one is. Let's see if we can find it while we're doing the class here. Okay, who said pink is about the spleen? I would love to talk to them. I don't know who said that, but you can look in the chat and get in touch with them. I can't figure out how to join the library discount club. It gives me the education page. Okay, we really need to correct that. So let me see if I can work on that while we're continuing to talk here. So what I'm really interested in doing is actually going back here. Now, a couple of things I want to make you aware of. I don't know how great the function is here, but if you go to your control center, so I just swipe down from the lower right, this is on Apple or iOS devices. You notice that you may have not used this for a long time. I certainly didn't, because I use everything in portrait mode. If you go to this and then you undo this, you may enjoy using your Genius on a keyboard. The keyboard is underneath, and so you put this in landscape mode. So let's see what happens when we do that. Nothing happens. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we do, if you haven't noticed before, we actually now have landscape mode. So if you like, everything is always just a little bit off of what it should be. It's really stressful. Like this is like a weird, viewpoint here. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to the aura. So you can look at some things in the landscape function, and that's a little bit better. I don't know why we got two pictures there, but that being said, let's go ahead and begin the analysis to see the change. We'll put it back in portrait mode, but I wanted you to be aware that you can look at it in landscape mode. So let's go ahead and let's see the difference in the aura function and what's changed since we've been running frequencies. And we'll put it back into portrait mode in just a moment. Okay, so very, very interesting. Let's go ahead and flip it back, and we're going to lock it. I think that's going to be a little better for the analysis. All right, so I usually, we only bounced for 1 minute, so I kind of call this sort of like my mid-session check-in, right? So it probably would be different on the actual ending session. If we were ending it up, it would be a little bit different. So we're not sort of ending the session at this time. And so this is sort of midway through, but it's kind of interesting. So it's moved sort of the prioritization to green, and we've got a deep dark green, which is very, very interesting. And it's got a just a deep, deep dark color. So there's something going on, definitely with heart energy, with healing energy, with that deep dark green. It's really, really interesting. And maybe a lot of emotional healing as well is going on here. So that could also be what's going on. underneath the surface that we're seeing. And then the next priority, it's an interesting sort of a purple that we've moved out to. It's a deep, dark, almost like a magenta purple, so very strong. So it could be strengthening that third eye and working on that beautiful pineal gland. And because that's a very, very deep, it's interesting that both of the colors are very deep. When we started out, it was more of a very light pastel. And so some of the, let's see if I can get this. So some of the vitality may be coming back into the field. Okay, I've got the link for everyone for Library Discount Club as well. I'm not sure why it wasn't clicking through. When I clicked one of the links, it worked great. So I'm just going to put this into the chat if it will cooperate with me. So I'm going to put this into the chat. We'll also share it in the email. But yes, that link is working. The link that we're putting in there to join Library Discount Club is definitely working. It's the one at the bottom of the page, and we'll find out which one was getting that message and correct it. Library Discount Club link. So if you want that, that is right there. And thank you for letting me know. I really, truly appreciate it. Now, on the outside, we've got a beautiful kind of very, very bright green color. And so this, again, of course, it's heart energy. I also think it's related to clearing up the digestive system. So I think that that's what it's about. So, but let's look at the difference between the two. But look when we started out here. Look how light everything was. And I think there is definitely an issue with low vital force, low energy, low digestive fire. But look where we moved to right here. And that, to me, it's more vital force. A lot of clearing going on. And so isn't that interesting, the difference between the two of running the frequencies that we ran today? All right, let's see what some of your comments are as we get ready to wind up for today. Do we keep the libraries that we get from the Library Discount Club? Yes, of course. Any libraries that you get, you keep them forever. All right, so let's see. So are we to read the deep colors as being an area of concern or the strength of the person? I ask because I interpret that which is close to the body is the strength. Well, Audra, really, you can interpret this any way that rings true for you. We're not telling you how you have to interpret it. What I say is the center layer is the thing that is the most priority. But you're looking at before and after, so your perspective is going to be different. So in the beginning, it could be, yeah, that's the issue up for them. In the end, it could be the thing that has been healed. All right, fantastic. The pink has moved to the outside of the body. Yeah, moved from the inside. Yeah, that's kind of fascinating. The sort of the pastel colors are now more on the outer layer, which suggests that the outer layer may be something that's sort of moving out of the field itself, which is very, very interesting. Let's see, there was another comment from Margaret, and she really likes, she is taking her lead from Donna Eden, and she says that Donna Eden has some energy info. Yeah, Donna Eden, of course, a great book, Energy Medicine, and she's really a pioneer in this field. Wonderful. She has some energy info and talks about the energy and layers in the secondary chakras. Quantum Touch author has 12 color meditation, talks about the color layers of the body. So if we look at that, we'll certainly look into that. We may find a correlation with our aura function. So I really appreciate that information very, very much. It's great. Okay, so we're a little bit past the hour. So we do have, you can report these bugs when you go back into system overview. It doesn't hold the analysis. You have to redo the analysis and it gives you different results. And also when you go into custom libraries, it's giving you weird 001 numbers. So these are great things to report. Even none of these numbers looks proper anyway, because you got 280, 300. So none of those numbers are correct. So please report. Just go to your Genius, go to your computer right now and just put a subject line. I found a bug, bugs found, put a screenshot, report what it is, and do send your a particular device, like I have an Android Galaxy, I have an iPad Pro this generation or something like that, that helps him to figure out what's going on. All that said, please, if you have any desire to be part of our event of the year, put your hand up and share, even if it's just for 30 minutes. We do a brief sharing with you. We'd love to reward you with one of our practitioner packs. We're going to have bonuses, prizes at our event of the year starting next week at 12 p.m. Pacific. So kind of make it doable for everybody, and running for 3 hours on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. All right, thank you everyone for being part of our Genius community. You can watch this on YouTube. Be sure, just one last thing is a Thursday. Be sure to join us for that podcast. So go to the events page at geniusbiofeedback.com and be sure to join myself and Karen McDonald for another episode of our 528 podcast, where we talk a lot about that funny jab thing, and also just a lot of other things that we can't talk about on other platforms. So if you like all of the deep stuff and how to really heal yourself, be sure to join us. And to join us, you would go to the events page at geniusbiofeedback.com and click on the 528 podcast, and you can join us there. My website is being very naughty and not letting me do that. So there we go. All right, there's our calendar. So on Thursday, we'll have the podcast. On Monday, we'll still have our training, and then we'll be over to the event of the year starting at noon. I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of our Genius Biofeedback community, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.